Melody, who has long been seen as composed, strong, and strategic, is now facing evidence that could challenge her entire public persona. The courtroom was not just a place to voice opinions, it became a stage for facts, documents, and proof, and Wanda came prepared. This was no social media drama, this was real, tangible, and high stakes. Fans who have followed Melody over the years knew her as someone who carefully managed her image in business, someone who built a life for herself and her family with meticulous planning. But even the strongest plans can be tested when evidence is placed in front of the public, and Wanda made sure everyone saw what she had. The tension between Wanda and Melody did not start overnight. It had been building quietly behind the scenes for years. Fans witnessed moments, comments, and exchanges on social media that hinted at friction, but it was often dismissed as minor disagreements or personal differences. Melody's ability to remain calm, even when provoked, had earned her admiration. She rarely responded impulsively and focused on her growth and stability. Wanda, however, took a different approach. She was outspoken, blunt, and often crossed boundaries that some thought should have remained private. Over time, what began as small conflicts escalated, becoming deeply personal. And when conflicts involve family, children, and personal reputation, the stakes are higher than anyone on the outside can truly understand. In the courtroom, Wanda presented her evidence with precision. She didn't rant on social media or try to gain sympathy online. Instead, she relied on documents, screenshots, audio recordings, and witness statements to build a narrative that challenged the image Melody had carefully constructed over years. Those who were inside the courtroom described a shift in energy the moment Wanda began presenting her case. Even Melody's supporters were forced to reconsider, pausing to take in what was being revealed. For someone who has always been seen as unshakable, even a moment of being caught off guard sends a strong message. This was not an attack based on gossip. It was a carefully prepared presentation aimed at showing patterns and actions that had been hidden from the public eye. Melody has always been recognized for her intelligence, resilience, and strategic mindset. She planned her steps ahead of time, built her brand with care, and created a life that represented stability and growth. But no matter how prepared a person is, life has ways of testing even the most calculated strategies. The public nature of this confrontation adds layers of complexity. Every movement, every facial expression, and every reaction is now under scrutiny. Fans and critics alike dissect every second of court footage, social media commentary, and interviews. The court is no longer just a legal arena, it has become a public stage where perception and reality intersect. Wanda's evidence, according to insiders, was detailed. She did not focus on minor mistakes or trivial disputes. She highlighted patterns of behavior that suggested manipulation and careful image management. The evidence painted a picture of someone who could provoke conflict while maintaining a public image of composure. For many fans, this was shocking. Melody's brand had always been one of strength and integrity. To see it challenged in such a concrete way caused uncertainty. Questions arose not just about her past actions, but also about the very narrative fans had been told over the years. The courtroom became a turning point where perception and reality clashed in ways that social media alone could never achieve. Throughout this ordeal, Melody's response has been measured. She has chosen silence over confrontation, allowing legal counsel to handle the narrative. Some fans view this as smart strategy, a way to maintain dignity and avoid making impulsive statements that could be used against her. Others interpret the silence as hesitation or being caught off guard. Regardless of interpretation, the fact remains that when matters are handled in a courtroom, privacy is fragile, leaks occur, public opinion forms, and every action is scrutinized. The pressure of these circumstances can test anyone, no matter how experienced or strategic. The public aspect of this case has amplified the tension. Every side-eye on camera, every cryptic social media post, and every comment is now analyzed for hidden meaning. Fans are dissecting old videos and interviews, trying to piece together the truth. What once seemed minor or irrelevant now carries weight. The battle between perception and reality is ongoing, and Wanda has positioned herself as someone relying on facts rather than feelings. This distinction matters because in the court of public opinion, the difference between emotion and evidence can be decisive. Wanda's choice to present her case in a formal legal setting demonstrates the seriousness of her claims and her intent to influence both the legal outcome and public perception. For Melody, the consequences extend beyond personal reputation. Her family, children, and business interests are now in the spotlight. Allegations, even if not proven in court, can have lasting impacts. In the world of reality television mixed with real-life consequences, image is everything. Years of cultivating a reputation can be threatened by a single legal case or well-presented evidence. Melody faces critical decisions, whether to deny claims, provide counter-evidence, or negotiate a settlement to prevent further damage. Every option carries risks, and timing is crucial. The courtroom will not wait, and neither will public opinion. Wanda's supporters view this as a moment of truth. For them, the courtroom confrontation confirmed suspicions that Melody's public persona may not reflect her true behavior. They praise Wanda's courage in presenting evidence rather than relying on social media drama. For Melody's loyalists, however, this is seen as an unfair attack. They argue that Wanda's long-standing fixation has found an outlet, and that the allegations may not reflect reality. Social media is ablaze with debates. Video clips are shared and reanalyzed, and old interviews are revisited with a new perspective. This dynamic illustrates how public opinion can form quickly, often before the facts are fully revealed. The courtroom is more than just a place for facts. It is a space where strategy, narrative control, and perception meet. Both Wanda and Melody understand this implicitly. Every document presented, every statement made, and every reaction has the potential to shape the story. Witnesses are scrutinized, evidence is examined, and attorneys work meticulously to craft a compelling narrative. The intersection of law and public perception makes this situation complex. It is no longer just about who is right or wrong. It is about influence, control, and maintaining credibility under intense scrutiny. Beyond a legal battle, the emotional stakes are enormous. Melody faces not just allegations, but the impact on her mental health and family. Imagine years of carefully managing an image, building a brand, and maintaining stability, only to face public claims that challenge the very essence of that image. For Wanda, there is the weight of ensuring that the evidence presented is accurate, verifiable, and compelling. Mistakes or exaggerations could backfire, damaging credibility and undermining the case. Both women are navigating a high-pressure situation with long-term consequences. The conflict also highlights the challenges of living a public life. When personal disputes become public, privacy is limited. Every action is interpreted, and every silence carries meaning. Melody's decision to remain quiet is strategic, but it also carries risk. Silence can be interpreted as strength or as vulnerability, depending on perspective. Wanda's decision to act formally rather than impulsively is similarly strategic, signaling confidence and preparation. This clash between preparation and perception, strategy and emotion, defines the current moment. Legal battles in public settings often reveal more than the immediate dispute. They expose relationships, alliances, and patterns of behavior. Friends, associates, and former collaborators are drawn in, often involuntarily. Statements from the past are revisited, and old decisions are analyzed in the context of new evidence. This creates a ripple effect, affecting not just the primary parties, but everyone connected to the situation. For Melody, this means that past actions, even those made with good intentions, could be interpreted differently in light of Wanda's evidence. The stakes are far-reaching, and the pressure is intense. The narrative also raises questions about perception and reality. For years, fans have watched Melody navigate public life with poise and strategy. Her image has been one of resilience and intelligence. Wanda's claims challenge that perception, introducing doubts and prompting fans to reconsider what they thought they knew. The level of detail in Wanda's evidence